We're back with a special report tonight. The Monterey Bay Aquarium is one of the most recognized tourist attractions in the country and one of the biggest money makers for the local economy. But even they are not immune to the pandemic and now hoping for a better tomorrow. In tonight's special report, KION's Jocelyn Ortega speaks with the staff about the struggles of staying afloat.
The Monterey Bay Aquarium once hosted thousands of patrons every day, but that was nearly 10 months ago. With the lockdown brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of visitors here since then has been zero. The aquarium has tried its best to adapt to virtual changes in an effort to keep life going at the aquarium. But with no sure end in sight for the pandemic, the staff here say they're trying to make the best of this unprecedented time. The once crowded lobbies and ticket lines at Monterey Bay Aquarium are now empty. The staircases that in their best of times saw people racing up and down to get a glimpse of the sea creatures now stand in silence. What you do see is the fish and curious sea otters in their tanks who have not seen as many faces as they did before the shutdown caused by the pandemic. Kayla Campbell has worked at the aquarium for about a year and a half and describes what it's like to be at work with no visitors and the loss of hundreds of co-workers after a series of layoffs.
It's strange. It feels kind of lonely sometimes, for sure.
About 240 staff members had to be laid off because of the financial strain of the pandemic. That represents just under half of the pre-pandemic workforce.
It didn't hit me so realistically till this last round of layoffs. It's been a real reality check. My husband and I are looking at homes in the peninsula, and now, we're putting that decision on hold right now just because we don't really know what the future holds.
And every day is one of uncertainty for everyone at the aquarium. The aquarium has gone from about a $90 million annual budget to a loss of $55 million in revenue in the last 10 months of the pandemic. Many changes had to be made to keep the aquarium clean and sanitized, but that's not the aquarium's biggest concern.
We still need to use electricity to keep the animals healthy, to make sure that the water temperature is ideal to what they need in order to survive.
Every dollar counts when it comes to keeping the animals alive and healthy.
Our operating expenses still continue to be about $1 million per week, taking care of animals, taking care of the building, paying the staff who we absolutely need here.
As Ray the Penguin can show you, how do you feel about the pandemic? While the pandemic has not exactly been a walk around the aquarium, there is still life, lights, and success at the aquarium. They resorted to the use of live cams, showing the jellyfish, live kelp forests, and more. This proved to be a big hit with thousands of people streaming, even from across the globe.
Just watching the cameras, I know kids that have written in that have said, like, from their hospital beds that was part of the things that they've used.
Educational programs were made available online for children, particularly for those in underserved communities, to keep them engaged in their education. Over 70,000 students registered for the programs, but as the aquarium's education director explains,
I miss seeing them. I miss hearing their voices.
Nothing compares to seeing the children learn about life in the ocean in person. But the staff say every day they remember the big picture.
People in our most disadvantaged neighborhoods are suffering disproportionately from the spread of infection.
And even with no reopening date in sight, the staff at the aquarium say they are preparing to open their doors once again soon and remain hopeful for a better tomorrow. The staff at the aquarium say they are still in need of community support to keep the animals thriving and operations going. To find out how you can help or to make a donation, be sure to check out our website, KION546.com. In Monterey, Jocelyn Ortega, KION News Channel 546.